a world where assassins rule from the shadows. A king everyone believed was dead is back. Betrayed by his own organization. Saved by a friend who gave his life. Now he returns, not for power, but for revenge. But what happens when the world's deadliest assassin is forced to live as a live-in son-in-law? And the most dangerous part? They have no idea just how deadly the man they're about to call family really is. The story begins from the Cell region, which is in Africa. Here, at night time, vultures are flying and a full moon has come out. This place looks like an underworld. It is the most rampant region for global terrorism, and termed the Forbidden Zone of Death by governments around the world. Then we are shown a base which is completely made of iron, and at the entrance there are 2 terrorists who are guarding the entrance. But suddenly, behind one terrorist, like a shadow, a killer appears and he places his dagger on that terrorist's neck, and in the next moment, he blows off his head. He cuts off his neck completely, and at the same time another killer slits the throat of the second terrorist, and finishes him. This all happens within just 1 second. Then after killing both of them, the second man calmly places that terrorist's head on the ground and says, "Boss, something does not seem right. Why are there only 2 guards here along the way?" In response to this, the protagonist says, "Be careful, it really does not seem right. The target indicator shows that the item is just ahead." Then the MC and his companion both open the entrance door and peek inside. Inside there is an empty space. Then his companion says, "The item is over there." The thing they were searching for was right in front of them. Then they move forward very silently and carefully and try to open the box, and they succeed in it. Both of them carefully look inside to see what is inside. But suddenly the MC realizes that there is a trap set here, and he gets shocked because inside the box there is a time bomb, which has only 20 seconds left before it explodes. Then he tells his partner, "Red Wolf, we have to run quickly." But Red Wolf says, "Boss, you go first." And as soon as the MC moves out from the entrance, Red Wolf stays there. Seeing this, the MC says, "What are you doing? Hurry up. We have to get out of here quickly." But Red Wolf says, "Boss, you should hurry. You must leave here first, otherwise neither of us will be able to get out." The MC shouts and calls Red Wolf's name, telling him to stop. But now it is already too late. Red Wolf has understood that only one of them can survive, so he stays back to close the entrance and shouts, "Boss, you go." Then the timer reaches 0, and at the same time the entrance closes, and then a huge explosion happens. Because of this explosion, the entire base gets completely destroyed. With this, a news spreads across the dark web that Wolf King, who is the leader of the Wolf organization, failed his mission in a small African country and detonated explosives, dying with his body shattered to pieces. Along with this, people on the dark web start chatting among themselves. They are completely shocked, saying how the Wolf King, who was revered as a king of assassins in the assassin world, actually died. Another comment says, "The Wolf King is an S-rank assassin, the globally recognized pinnacle of combat power. What kind of mission did he even go on?" And one user comments, "What a pity. The Wolf organization will probably be thrown into chaos now." On the dark web, the news has spread that the Wolf King is dead. But in reality, the Wolf King is still alive. He comes out from the ruins and says, "I am the Wolf King, revered by the assassin world as the unmatched king of assassins. Yet I encountered an accident during this operation. My teammate Red Wolf sacrificed his life to save me, allowing only me to survive. After this battle, I was heavily injured. However, during the repair and reconstruction of my meridians, I broke through my limit, connected all my meridians, and actually reached the legendary martial arts realm, the transformation realm. Even so, the current me only wants to live the life of an ordinary person, no longer arrogant. I have cancelled my long dormant life in the mortal world, like a 1,000-year-old turtle hiding my identity. However, there is still one thing that remains like a thorn in my heart, something I cannot let go of. I must complete it." Then the scene shifts to the station exit. After coming out of the station, the MC takes a deep breath. He feels a sense of freedom. There is a smile on his face, and he looks up toward the sky. Then after that, he goes to a taxi driver and tells him an address, saying number 33 Hua Tian Yunnan. The taxi driver understands and says, "Alright, getting." After this, the driver starts driving the car fast and says to the MC, "Young man, judging from your accent, you are not from around here. Coming to willing to visit relatives?" He also says, "Yeah, you can say that." The driver further says, "Trying to climb ties with the Fong family is not that easy, you know." In response, the MC says, "Oh." After some time, they arrive. There are many cars around, and the taxi stops directly near the gate, where 2 bodyguards are guarding the entrance. Then the MC is trying to take out money, but the driver says, "No rush, I will wait for you here. You can pay for the round trip together." In response, the MC says, "What do you mean?" Then the driver says that you will find out soon. Then the MC gets out of the taxi and starts walking toward that big gate, and while going he says, "Looks like the Fong family has a joyous occasion today." The driver is still sitting in the taxi and says, "Today is a big day for the Fong family. Dressed so shabby, you are obviously here to climb the social ladder with the Fongs. If you can even get through the Fong family gates, I will streak naked around Hongsen." He whispers. The MC stands in front of the Fong residence, and seeing this place he says that this is indeed the place. Then he starts thinking, "I need to fulfill my father's dying wish as quickly as possible and then go investigate the incident from back then. That means the MC has come to fulfill his father's last wish." But then the guards stop him right at the gate and ask, "Do you have an invitation?" In response he says, "What kind of invitation?" One bodyguard rudely says, "You are not here for the banquet, then what is your business?" So the MC puts his hand into his pocket and says, "I am here to see Fong warming, Uncle Fong." Then he shows a photo in which there is a picture of his father and his uncle and says, "The man in the photo is my father." As soon as the bodyguards see the photo, they get a little confused and say, "There is definitely a resemblance." Then the protagonist takes out another proof, a small box, and says, "Once Uncle Fong sees the medal of my father, he will naturally understand my identity." As soon as the bodyguard hears this, his tone changes, and he respectfully takes that medal. That medal is kept inside that small box, and he says, "Please wait a moment. We will inform the master immediately." The MC also says, "Alright, okay." Then inside the Fong family, a banquet is going on. Many people have gathered and are enjoying the party, and they are talking. Time really flies. Another guest says, "It feels like just yesterday Yunnan was a little girl going to school with her backpack, and now she is getting engaged and married." Then we see Yuan, who is looking very beautiful, and she says, "Grandpa, what are you saying? Even if I get married, I will still be a part of the Fong family." Then we are shown the head of the Fong family, who is Uncle Fong. He stands up and raises a cup of wine and says, "Distinguished guests, today is the grand engagement day of my daughter Fong Yu and the eldest young master of the Wen family, Wen Ziming." Then both Yuan and Ziming stand up and also raise the wine cups in their hands, and Uncle Fong is saying, "Let us all raise our glass and congratulate the 2 young people. And I also wish that the business between our Fong family and Wen family will continue to prosper." Everyone starts cheering and saying congratulations, and they say, "With the marriage alliance between the Fong and Wen family, they will be able to command the wind and rain in Willing City in the future." Everyone is celebrating happily and also saying, "Indeed, indeed." But suddenly a bodyguard comes behind Uncle Fong and quietly says, "Master, something has come up." Uncle Fong looks at the bodyguard. There is a bit of panic visible on the bodyguard's face. Uncle Fong becomes a little confused and asks, "Why are you so panicked? What happened?" Then the bodyguard shows the MC's father's medal to Uncle Fong and says, "Master, there is a young man outside looking for you, and he brought this." As soon as Uncle Fong sees that medal, he is completely shocked and says, This is someone from the Jiang family here." At that moment, Uncle Feng's wife says, "What? Someone from the Jiang family? Why did they have to appear at this critical moment?" And Uncle Feng's daughter becomes surprised and asks, "Mom, what Jiang family? Why did your expression change so drastically?" Then her mother explains, "Back in the day, your father arranged a childhood betrothal for your sister with the Jiang family's son, Zheng Hao." As soon as the daughter hears this, she is completely shocked and says, "What?" Then she says to her grandfather, "Grandfather, if the visitor really is the son of the Jiang family, you must stand up for my sister. You cannot let her marry a stranger." Then her grandfather says, "Alright, don't panic. Wen-Ming, you go take a look first." Before leaving, Uncle Feng says, "You all stay here and entertain the Wen family for a bit. I will go see the visitor." His wife says, "Okay then." After this, he comes to meet the MC, and the bodyguard also brings him into a room. Uncle Feng says, "Haoji, it really is you." There is a lot of happiness on Uncle Feng's face, and he says, "I have looked so hard for you guys all these years." The MC also becomes very happy seeing Uncle Feng and says, "I am late and caused you to worry." Then both of them hug each other. Uncle Feng says, "It has been years since we last met, and you are already a grown young man now. By the way, is your father doing well? Why did he not come?" In response, the MC pauses for a moment. His facial expression changes, he becomes sad, and in a sorrowful voice he says, "My father passed away 10 years ago because his old injury relapsed." As soon as Uncle Feng hears this, he is completely shocked and becomes sad. He places his hand on the MC's shoulder, lowers his face, and says, "It's all my fault. Back then, if it were not for saving me, he would not have been injured. Haoji, you must have suffered a lot these past few years." But the MC says, "It's fine, it's all in the past." He further says, "By the way, Uncle Feng, I came this time to fulfill my father's dying wish. He told me to come find you, saying that once I found you, everything would become clear." After hearing the MC's words, Uncle Feng becomes serious and says, "Your father's dying wish. I understand. It's just that right now." At that moment, Uncle Feng's wife also comes there. Uncle Feng looks at her and says, Why are you all out here? Are the Wen family affairs settled?" We see that the entire Feng family has come down. His wife says, "Yes, we arranged for people to see them off." Then Uncle Feng introduces the MC to everyone, saying, "Haoji, this is your aunt and Yuyun. You still remember them, right? You two even played house together when you were kids." As soon as the MC sees Yuyun, he becomes happy and says, "Sister Yuyun, it's been years since we last met. You have changed so much, I almost could not recognize you." Yuyun smiles and says, "Hello, my childhood memories are a bit blurry too." But her sister is in a completely different mood. She is angry and says in an irritated tone, "Showing up after more than 10 years and suddenly appearing today of all days, let me ask you, what did you come here for today?" Hearing her words, the MC becomes slightly alert. And just then, another person comes, who is her brother. He says, "Is there even a need to ask? It's obviously for my sister, trying to climb the social ladder of our Feng family. Let me tell you, keep dreaming. My sister is already engaged to the young master of the Wen family." At that moment, Uncle Feng suddenly shouts, "Poming, shut your mouth." Then Yuyun tries to understand what is going on. She becomes a little anxious and says, "Right, Dad, what is going on?" At the same time, the MC also says, "Uncle Feng, what exactly is going on? I came this time for my father's dying wish." After this, Uncle Feng becomes a little serious. First, he lowers his voice and says, "Haoji." Then he looks at him and explains, "Back then, your father and I arranged a childhood betrothal for you and Yu Yen. That is your father's dying wish." As soon as both the male and female hear this, they are completely shocked and say, "What? A childhood betrothal?" The MC looks at his uncle in confusion, and his uncle further explains, "That's right, this is the agreement I made with your father in the past. Consider it a promise." Now the MC understands everything. He starts thinking, "So my dad's dying wish was the childhood betrothal. Once you enter the martial world, it is as deep as the sea. Getting married now will only harm myself and others." Then he says, "Uncle, if this is my dad's dying wish, then I wish to cancel this marriage." But the girl's brother does not stay quiet. He shouts, "You rushed over here today just because you found out that my sister and the young master of the Wen family are getting engaged, didn't you?" And the girl also says, "That's right. You are just afraid you won't be able to climb the social ladder of our family." At the same time, Uncle Feng is completely shocked and says, "What?" The girl's brother is still shouting, "He is just a beggar. What right does he have to be my brother-in-law?" There, his father scolds him. "Impudence! Apologize to Haoji immediately. See how I teach you a lesson." He even raises his hand to hit him, but his son says, "Dad, hit me then. If you have the heart to marry my sister off to a beggar, then just beat me to death." But before the slap can land, his sister steps in front to protect him and says while crying, "Dad, do you really intend to cancel my engagement with the Wen family and make me marry Jiang Haoji?" Her father says, "That's right. Your marriage to Haoji was settled 20 years ago. It cannot be changed." His daughter cries even more and says, "To disregard your daughter's happiness for your own selfish promise, you don't deserve to be a father." Then she runs away crying, and her siblings also follow behind her, saying, "Sister, where are you going?" Then Uncle Feng places his hand on the MC's shoulder and says, "Haoji, you stay here for now. Take a good shower and get some rest." The MC says, "Uncle Feng, I still think." But Uncle Feng interrupts him and says, "Listen to me, I will figure everything out." Then at night, in the Feng family house, the MC is in his room and is cultivating. He says, "At this time every day, I practice the inner breathing mental technique. It allows me to absorb the chi of heaven and earth, cleanse my meridians, strengthen my internal organs, and sharpen my 5 senses. Right now, I am about to step into the transformation realm." Then a voice comes from another room, which the MC hears because his hearing ability is many times sharper than an ordinary human. His uncle and grandfather are talking in another room, and the MC is listening. His uncle is saying to his father, "Yes, Haoji's father died because of me. If he had not been severely injured saving me in the past, his family would not have declined, and there would not be the prosperous Feng family today. Dad, if I break my promise and cancel the engagement, can I still be considered human?" His father replies, "By doing this, you are fulfilling your original promise, but you are making Yuyun suffer." Uncle Feng says, "Yuyun is my daughter. She will surely understand her father's difficulties in the future," his father says. "Right now, everyone in Wuling City knows about the marriage alliance between our Feng and Wen families. Canceling the engagement now will definitely trigger the Wen family's fury." Feng says, "I will find a way to deal with it." His father says, "I can agree to this marriage, but on 3 conditions." Uncle Feng asks, "What kind of conditions?" His father replies, "First, a 3-month period to observe his character. Second, you cannot help him from the sidelines. Third, he must become a live-in son-in-law of our Feng family." Hearing this, Uncle Feng is a little shocked and says, "A live-in son-in-law? Will Haoji agree to that?" His father says, "Our Feng family holds a prominent status in Wuling City. How could we marry off our eldest daughter to a poor boy with absolutely no background?" Then Uncle Feng agrees and says, "Fine, since that's the case, I will go talk to Haoji." Meanwhile, in the other room, the MC continues cultivating while listening to everything. He understands everything and thinks, "Uncle Feng has put a lot of thought into this for my sake. I cannot make things difficult for him anymore." After this, his uncle comes near his room, knocks on the door, and asks, "Haoji, have you thought it through?" The MC stands up and wears his shirt. On his chest, there is a tattoo, which is the mark of the Wolf King. He says, "Not yet, Uncle Feng. Please come in." Then both of them start talking face to face. Uncle Feng says, "Haoji, about your marriage with Yiyun." The MC says, "Uncle Feng, I would not make things difficult for you. I will agree to whatever you say." Hearing this, Uncle Feng becomes happy and says, "Really, Haoji, can you marry into the Feng family as a live-in son-in-law?" The MC says, "Yes, I agree." Hearing this, Uncle Feng becomes a little emotional and says, "My boy, Uncle Feng is sorry to you." But the MC smiles and says, "Uncle Feng, you are being too serious." Uncle Feng says, "Alright, get some good rest. I will go make the arrangements." Then his uncle starts leaving the room, and while looking at his uncle's departing shadow, the MC thinks, "In order not to make things difficult for Uncle Feng, I can only agree to it for now. As for the 3 months, later I will leave home. I will have long left this city by then." After this, the scene shifts to another place, the Wen family. There, the head of the Wen family, Wen Gaofeng, slams his hand on the table and shouts, "What? Cancel the engagement? The engagement ceremony is in 3 days. You are not joking with me, are you?" Uncle Feng remains serious and says, I hope brother one understands my difficulties. After all, a promise was made first. You would not want me to be a person who breaks his word and abandons righteousness, would you? But when Gaofeng's whole body is trembling with anger, he says, then you can just make a fool out of my one family and turn us into a laughing stock for everyone in Willing City? Uncle Feng says, since things have come to this, to express my apology, the Feng group will withdraw from the Nanshire district project. But even then, when Gaofeng's anger does not calm down, he shouts again, do you take my one family for 3-year-olds? Giving us a slap and then offering us sweet? My one family won't just let this go. We will definitely make your Feng family pay the price. Then he angrily leaves, and Uncle Feng says, see the guest out. After that, the scene shifts again, and we see a cyber cafe. In the cyber cafe, many people are present. Some are playing games, some are working, and some are enjoying themselves. The MC is also there. He has come to clear some things, to investigate something. He is rapidly typing on the keyboard, searching for information. On the computer screen, there is an image of a butterfly and a news headline. XXX trade employees publish XXX info news. He is thinking. On the screen in front of him, there is a photo of an old man. It is written that an overseas Grandmaster and the Southern First Master, known as the Eastern Roaming Dragon, has had a global kill order issued on him by the Close family, with a bounty of $200 million. The MC thinks, he is an S-rank martial arts Grandmaster. He is worth this price, but why is he being hunted down? So that's why. Then he sees another news. A female student from a certain Huaxia University was raped and murdered, and the suspect was a direct descendant of the Close family. This descendant also sent people to assassinate the female student's mother, who kept trying to file a lawsuit. Pei Yunbai could not stand by, so he assassinated the descendant along with over a dozen of his personal bodyguards. The MC thinks, Pei Yunbai has a deep-seated hatred for evil, truly worthy of being my master's close friend. But then he sees something that makes his mouse freeze. His eyes stop on the computer screen. He sees the leader of the Wolf Organization, the Wolf King, has fallen. The number 4 figure of the Wolf Organization, Sidious, has become the new generation's leader of the Wolves. This means that the leader of the Wolf Organization has already changed. At this moment, the MC recalls how he and his close teammate fell into a trap. They tried to escape the blast, but his teammate sacrificed himself to save him. The explosion was massive. Remembering this, the MC becomes extremely angry and thinks, what's going on? After my death, the number 2 figure, Lone Wolf, should have been the one to succeed me. Then he stands up, becoming serious, and takes a name, Sidious. He thinks, that mission must have been a setup by someone. I want to see who the traitor in the Wolf Organization is. Rest assured, Red Wolf, I will definitely find out the truth and avenge you. And on that same night, under the silver moonlight, the MC comes out of the internet cafe and starts walking forward. He is thinking, I will stay here a few more days to track down clues and take some time to familiarize myself with the environment here. As he moves ahead, suddenly a car stops right in front of him. The MC gets a little surprised. Just then, 2 thugs come out of the car. They look at the MC and say, buddy, do us a favor and come with us. Then both of them pull out daggers and start smiling, showing them to the MC, but they have no idea who the MC really is or what he is capable of. One of the thugs comes closer to the MC and says, kid, if you dare to resist again, I will stick a white blade in and pull a red blade out. The MC thinks, looks like they are just ordinary thugs. I cannot expose my identity like this. Let's see what they want to do first. So the MC pretends to cooperate. He raises his hands and says, you two, let's talk this out. Don't use violence. The other thug says, quietly get in the car. As the car door opens and the MC looks inside, he sees that there is already another hostage sitting inside. She is a girl. Her mouth is taped shut, and she is crying. She has also been kidnapped. Then all of them get into the car, and one thug takes out a rope to tie the MC. But before that, the MC says, guys, if you are robbing me, I only have $300 in my pockets. I can give it all to you. But the thug says, shut up. Don't try any tricks. We are not grabbing you for your $300. Hearing this, a faint smile appears on the MC's face. He looks at them and says, "If not for money, then why are you grabbing me?" The other thug replies, "Don't ask so many questions. You will find out when we get there. After it's done, we will even give you a large sum of money." Hearing this, the MC becomes slightly surprised, but he continues to cooperate with them. The thugs make him sit inside the van and take him somewhere else. But they have no idea what is about to happen to them, or to the person behind all of this. The next scene shifts to another place. This place is actually the same girl's house, the girl who was kidnapped earlier. Inside the house, several elders are sitting together. Her grandfather, father, and uncle are all gathered there with tense expressions on their faces. Then the grandfather suddenly asks, "Have you found anything yet? Did you figure out who kidnapped her?" Immediately, someone answers from the front. "I already contacted all of my connections and friends, but none of them know anything." Right at that moment, another man suddenly stands up in panic. Then the old man says in a serious voice, "We must prepare for both possibilities. We need to find the kidnappers and the reason behind this immediately." At the same time, the slightly fat man beside him also rises from his chair and says, "Dad, several major projects in the company are in their final stages right now. We really don't have 500 million available on the books." But the old man narrows his eyes and asks, "Then what do you suggest we do?" The fat man immediately replies, "Negotiate with the kidnappers and lower the ransom to 100 million. The moment he says that, the man standing beside him becomes furious. He looks completely shocked and shouts, "What are you saying? Irresponsible older brother. If it wasn't my daughter Yahello who got kidnapped but your son Jin Feng instead, would you still say the same thing?" That makes it clear that the glasses-wearing man is Yahello's father. But the fat man coldly answers, "Even if Jin Feng were kidnapped, I would still do exactly the same thing." Hearing those words, Yahello's father becomes extremely angry. However, before the argument can continue, the grandfather suddenly slams his hand onto the table and roars, "That's enough! Stop arguing!" Then he says firmly, "No matter what method we use, find a way to gather the 500 million. Money is just money. But if she's gone, then she's truly gone." After that, the scene shifts toward the kidnappers' hideout. Their vehicle drives through the giant gate of an abandoned factory-like area. The place is completely isolated and eerie. Then the kidnappers drag both the kidnapped MC and the girl out of the car. The MC quietly observes the surroundings. He remains silent the entire time, cooperating calmly without resisting. Right after that, the cloth covering Yahello's mouth gets removed. The moment the tape comes off, the poor girl immediately screams in fear, "Help! I'm being kidnapped!" But honestly, the girl is foolishly panicking. They brought her to a completely deserted place. Nobody can hear her here, and nobody is coming to save her. Then one of the kidnappers licks his lips in a disgusting way and says, "If you keep screaming, I'll strip you naked right now." He deliberately threatens her in a horrifying tone, basically implying that he will violate her before killing her. Hearing that, the girl becomes even more terrified and hurriedly says, "Don't come near me. If you dare try anything, I'll bite my tongue off and kill myself." The poor girl is already trembling with fear, yet the kidnapper continues scaring her even more. "We love it when they don't move. Then we can do whatever we want with them." The guy is a complete pervert. But at that moment, another one of his companions walks over and says, "Stop talking nonsense and focus on business." Then the kidnapper grins and says, "All right, boss. My video shooting skills are top-notch." After that, they bring out a camera. The frightened girl immediately asks, "What are you planning to film?" Then she nervously says, You want to film a murder video to terrorize the Jean family into giving you the ransom?" The boss smirks and replies, "You're quite smart, little girl." Hearing that, the girl angrily curses at them. "You animals! You're all unbelievably cruel!" Soon after, one of the kidnappers walks toward the MC while holding a dagger. Then the MC calmly asks him, "Didn't you say you would give me a large amount of money after this was done? Why are you going back on your word?" The kidnapper laughs mockingly and replies, "Don't worry. Once you're dead, we'll definitely burn a massive amount of hell money for you." Then he bursts into laughter again. Right after that, the MC gets tied tightly to a giant iron pillar. The filming officially begins. The girl is already terrified out of her mind. She hurriedly tells the MC, "Hurry and beg for mercy. Otherwise they'll kill you." But instead of feeling threatened, the kidnapper becomes even happier and says, "You're actually not afraid. I respect you as a real man. I can help pass on your last words, but it won't be free. You'll have to give me all your money." Even at a time like this, the bastard is still obsessed with money. Just how poor and greedy is this guy? Then the MC coldly says, "I did not want to resort to killing. Why must you court death?" The kidnapper immediately bursts out laughing. Is this guy really a complete idiot? Bargaining shamelessly at death's door? None of them realize who the MC truly is. Then the MC calmly says, "I agree." The kidnapper looks confused and asks, "What do you agree to?" The MC replies, "The last words fee, except you will be the one paying me." The kidnapper laughs while patting the MC's shoulder and says, "He's so stupid. I don't even have the heart to kill him anymore." At that moment, their boss suddenly stands up from his chair. He is holding a massive machete in his hand. "Then let me do it." In the next second, he charges forward violently. Meanwhile, another thug shouts excitedly. When second brother gets angry, even the king of hell trembles. Then the boss swings the machete directly toward the MC. Seeing this terrifying scene, the girl tightly shuts her eyes in fear. But only 1 second later, she slowly opens them again, and the sight before her completely shocks her. In the very next moment, the MC throws a devastating punch directly into the attacker's face, instantly shattering all of his teeth. The man gets blasted backward and crashes onto the ground unconscious. All of the other thugs are completely stunned. Second brother is dead? With just a single punch, the MC completely destroyed him. Immediately after that, another man pulls out a gun and shouts, "Brothers, I'm going to shoot this bastard dead." But right at that moment, something falls near the MC's feet. The MC instantly kicks the piece of metal lying on the ground. The iron fragment shoots forward at terrifying speed and slams directly into the gunman's hand. In a single instant, the thug's hand gets horribly mangled, blood sprays everywhere, and the gun falls from his grip. At the same time, several more armed thugs rush forward to attack the MC. One of them fires immediately. But the MC's reaction speed is unbelievably fast. He rushes toward them while dodging the bullets effortlessly. Then, in a single movement, he attacks one thug's neck and drives his hand directly through the man's chest. The second thug becomes terrified. But before he can even react, the MC thrusts his hand straight through another man's chest as well. The bald thug standing nearby is completely horrified. He cannot even react properly to what's happening. Then suddenly, he feels an overwhelming pressure. Trembling in fear, he asks, Who exactly are you?" And in the next instant, the MC suddenly appears directly behind him like a ghost. In a cold, evil-like voice, he says, "My name is not something you are worthy of knowing." Before the bald man can react, the MC grabs his head and slams it violently into the ground. After that, the MC casually takes all of his money as well. Oops. I only collected the last words fee, but forgot to ask for it first. Then he steps directly on the bald man's face. At that moment, Yahello's voice suddenly calls out to him, "Hey, could you please come over and untie these ropes for me?" Without saying a word, the MC casually throws a knife. The knife flies straight through the air and perfectly cuts her ropes apart. The girl is completely shocked by his terrifying accuracy. After that, the MC immediately starts walking away without saying much. From behind him, the girl hurriedly says, "Thank you." But the MC coldly replies, "There is no need to thank me. Don't tell anyone I was here." He clearly wants to hide his identity. After saying that, the boy simply leaves. Some time later, police and emergency vehicles arrive at the scene. Yahello has already been rescued and is now sitting beside an ambulance, wrapped in a blanket. Soon, her grandfather and father arrive as well. The moment her grandfather sees her safe, he becomes emotional. The girl immediately runs into her grandfather's arms. Tears fill her eyes as she cries uncontrollably. At that moment, a police officer walks over and asks, "Miss Jean, what kind of person killed these kidnappers and saved you?" The girl first wipes the tears from her eyes before replying, "He was masked? I didn't see his face." The officer continues. Then what was his build like? The girl calmly answers. Chubby and very short. He should be a middle-aged man in his 40s. From behind her, the grandfather nods and supports her statement. Yes. After that, the scene shifts once again. Very late at night, the girl has already returned home. Her grandfather is now sitting across from her. Then the old man slowly begins questioning her. Yao Yao, I watched you grow up. I understand your temperament and personality better than anyone. You lied to the police today, didn't you? The girl lowers her head slightly and says, I actually saw my savior's face, but he saved me. I cannot repay kindness with betrayal and enmity. The grandfather nods slowly and says, It is naturally a good thing that you kept your promise and understand how to repay kindness. Then his expression becomes serious. But Grandpa also needs to remind you, our Jean family is a prestigious family. It's still unclear whether that savior rescued you out of pure confidence, or if he has some alternative motive. The girl quietly responds, Grandpa, I understand. The old man then says gently, You've had a difficult day today. Go back to your room and rest early. After that, the girl returns to her room. She closes the door behind her and leans against it silently. Then she falls deep into thought. Did he really have some alternative motive in saving me? Meanwhile, after Yao leaves, another man walks over toward the old man and says, Elder Jean. The old man immediately orders. Starting tomorrow, you will personally be responsible for protecting Yao's safety. There cannot be a single mistake again. The man respectfully nods. Rest assured, Elder Jean. Do you have any other orders? The old man's face turns serious again as he says, Secretly investigate who exactly killed those kidnappers and saved Yao today. Meanwhile, on the other side, the MC is rapidly running through the streets at incredible speed. He is using his movement technique and lightness skill called Scheming Shadow Step. His body moves like a shadow in the night, and within a short amount of time, he arrives near his future father-in-law's house. Then he opens the gate and walks inside. The moment he enters, his future in-laws are already sitting there waiting for him. Suddenly, the young man there immediately shouts angrily, Grandpa, does Jianhao really take our Feng family seriously? He just entered our doors yesterday, and today he dares to come back this late. The MC calmly replies, Do the Feng family rules specifically stipulate a return time at night? Hearing that, his future brother-in-law becomes even angrier. But before he can continue, Uncle Feng suddenly says, Insolent. Even though Haozi hasn't married your sister yet, you should still call him brother-in-law. How can you be so rude? But the future brother-in-law angrily yells back. A poor boy with no education and no background. What qualifications does he have to become my brother-in-law? Compared to Brother Jiaming, he's like a firefly trying to outshine the bright moon. Then he continues arrogantly. You probably don't even know this, do you? Brother Jiaming's godfather is the leading authority of Wuling City's underworld, Lord Lei. Right now our Feng family has made the Wan family a complete joke throughout Wuling City. Do you think Lord Lei won't help his own godson get revenge? Uncle Feng's expression turns serious as he says, The underworld rumors are almost certainly true. After saying that, his son snorts coldly and storms away from the room. At the same time, Aunt Feng also glances coldly at the MC before leaving as well. Only Uncle Feng stays behind. Then he walks over, pats the MC's shoulder, and says gently, Haozi, don't take it to heart. Even if what Haoming said is true, Uncle Feng will still do his best to ensure that you are not harmed in the slightest. The MC calmly replies, Thank you, Uncle Feng. Thank you for your good intentions. But I'm not afraid of people like Lord Lei. If they truly dare to come looking for trouble, I will make them regret it. The moment those words come out, the old grandfather immediately scolds him loudly. Young people should know when to be humble and when to be arrogant. If you lose your life, there will be no place left for regret. Coming back this late like today must never happen again. As the MC starts walking away, he calmly says, If speaking facts is considered arrogance, then I have nothing more to say. Uncle Feng, I'll return to my room first. Then he leaves. After that, only the old man and Uncle Feng remain in the room. Uncle Feng sighs softly before saying to his father, Dad, Haozi is still young and proud. Please don't take it to heart. But the old man's expression becomes heavy as he says, "I only hope this child coming into our Fong family will not become a disaster for the Fong family." The next morning arrives. The city looks calm and beautiful under the early sunlight. At this moment, the MC is standing outside a house gate while quietly thinking. There's no mistake. This is where Red Wolf's family used to live. Then he frowns slightly. But why is nobody home? Just then, a nearby shop owner auntie notices him. She is sitting outside on a chair near her small store. Then she says, "Young man, you came too late. Their family moved away over a year ago." Hearing that, the MC becomes slightly surprised. He walks closer and politely asks, "Ma'am, do you know where they moved to?" The woman is carrying her child in her arms while replying, "I don't know about that. But there's a girl nearby who was very close to their family. She might know." Then she looks at him again and says, "It's just that the girl has only been coming back once every 10 days or half a month recently." After hearing that, the MC immediately takes out a thick stack of cash and hands it to her. "In that case, ma'am, when that girl comes back, please give me a call." The moment she sees the money, the woman happily grabs it and smiles brightly. All right. No problem at all." Money truly can change people's attitudes instantly. After that, the MC quietly stands there for a moment and falls into deep thought. Why would Red Wolf's family suddenly move away so mysteriously? Then he slowly starts walking away while thinking. Could it be related to the attack on Red Wolf and me? Soon, the scene shifts toward a luxurious hotel building. Inside one of the rooms, Jiaming is currently with another woman after spending the night together. At that moment, knocking sounds suddenly come from the door. Jiaming wakes up irritably and curses. "Who's the blind idiot disturbing good people while we're having sweet dreams this early in the morning?" Then he walks over and opens the room door. Standing outside is one of his men, Qingzi. Jiaming immediately asks, "Is there any news regarding the matter I told you to investigate?" The man quickly reports, "That kid's name is Jiang Hao, a high school dropout. His father was Feng Wenming's former comrade in arms. After his father died from illness and injuries, his mother abandoned him, and the kid disappeared without a trace." Then he continues, "Rumors say he smuggled himself overseas to work illegally. Since he suddenly appeared now, he must have found out about your engagement with Miss Feng." The moment Jiaming hears that, his face twists with rage. He clenches his fists tightly and grits his teeth while saying, "That low-life trash is worse than a toad. He's a cockroach, a piece of shit." Then Qingzi asks coldly, "Young Master Wan, how about I quietly finish him off?" But Jiaming waves his hand and says, "Let's try peaceful measures before resorting to force. I want to go see Yunyun first." Soon after that, Jiaming arrives to meet Yunyun. The two of them sit together quietly while drinking tea. However, the girl looks slightly sad. Then she softly asks, "Brother Jiaming, what's the matter? Why did you ask me out today?" Jiaming stares directly at her before asking, "Yunyun, are you really going to listen to your father's arrangement and marry that poor stranger?" The girl lowers her head slightly before replying, "Jiang Hao's father died early while trying to save my father. This is what our Feng family owes the Jiang family." Before she can continue, Jiaming suddenly stands up and says emotionally, "Yunyun, let's elope. Once everything is done, we can come back later." But Yunyun immediately lowers her head even more and softly says, "No, that would make my dad look unrighteous. My father values promises more than anything. Doing that would basically kill him." Jiaming clenches his teeth tightly. "Then what about me? If the Wan family's engagement gets broken off by the Feng family, wouldn't I become the biggest joke in all of Wuling City? Tell me, who will compensate me for that?" The girl's eyes slowly become red as she says, "Brother Jiaming, I apologize to you on behalf of my dad." Then tears begin falling from her eyes as she turns around and starts leaving. Our relationship ends here. You should accept reality too. Jiaming remains standing there while grinding his teeth in anger. But then he suddenly picks up his phone, dials a number, and coldly says, "Qingzi, execute Plan B." But what exactly is Plan B? Nobody knows yet. After that, the scene shifts once again. Late at night, the MC suddenly receives a call from the same shop owner lady. Excitedly, she says, "Young man, Come quickly! That girl is back! The moment the MC hears that, he immediately replies, Thank you, ma'am. I'll be right there. After hanging up, he quickly changes clothes and rushes downstairs. At that moment, Uncle Fong is downstairs drinking tea. Seeing him leave so late, Uncle Fong asks, Howsy, where are you going at this hour? The MC calmly replies, Uncle, I'm going out for a run. Then he immediately leaves. Outside, he stops a taxi. The driver asks, Buddy, where are you headed? The MC answers, Taeyong Road. The driver nods. Alright, get in. But the moment the MC enters the taxi, he notices another rough-looking man already sitting inside. Then the taxi driver awkwardly explains, Sorry, buddy, the taxi industry is in a slump right now, so I'll be picking up another passenger along the way. Soon, the taxi starts moving. However, after some time, it feels like the driver is taking a completely different route. The MC's eyes narrow slightly as he asks coldly, Where exactly are you guys heading? MC had already started feeling that something was wrong. Then the taxi driver casually said, Taking this brother home, he lives in quite a remote area. It was obvious he was making excuses. Meanwhile, the man sitting inside the taxi clearly looked like a thug. The MC narrowed his eyes and calmly said, This is the complete opposite direction of Shaoyang Road. Won't you lose money driving this far out of your way? His gaze turned cold. Who exactly are you? The thug sitting beside him suddenly patted his shoulder and grinned. To tell you the truth, our boss wants to see you, the taxi driver also added. Don't rush. We'll be there soon. The MC silently accepted it and said nothing. A while later, the taxi finally stopped in front of a massive villa. The MC stepped out. The taxi driver pointed toward the entrance. The boss said you have to go in alone. He smirked. Don't worry. As long as you're obedient, our boss won't even lay a hand on you. The MC calmly walked forward. Soon, he arrived at the door. A man standing outside immediately opened it for him. The MC stepped inside and thought, I'd like to see who exactly wants to meet me. As he walked further in, he noticed two people sitting comfortably on a sofa. One of them was Xiaoming. The MC frowned. Who are you? I don't know you. Xiaoming sat there lazily and smiled. You don't know us. His smile slowly widened. But we know you. He raised his wine glass. You're the future live-in son-in-law of the Fong family. The MC's eyes narrowed. I know who you are now. His tone turned cold. So speak. Why exactly did you bring me here? Xiaoming slowly stood up and walked toward him. A wine glass rested casually in his hand. How are you worthy? He sneered. A poor loser like you can't even get close to Uncle Fong, let alone get a wife. His face darkened with humiliation. Losing to trash like you is the greatest humiliation of my life. The MC calmly asked. So what exactly did you bring me here for? Xiaoming's face immediately turned cold. Leave a finger behind. His voice became threatening. Leave the Fong family. And crawl back to wherever you came from. At that moment, his bald thug also stepped forward and stood in front of the MC. The MC remained completely confident. And what if I don't agree? Xiaoming burst into loud laughter. So you want to do this the hard way? He turned toward the thug. Qingzi, teach him how to behave. The bald thug cracked both of his fists together. Crack. Crack. But just then. Bang! Someone suddenly kicked the door open. Brat! Get in there! The MC turned in surprise. A man walked into the room while dragging another person behind him. That man stood firmly and coldly warned. Move aside, otherwise I won't hold back. The MC looked carefully at him before suddenly recognizing him. Aren't you Uncle Feng's driver and bodyguard? Xia Shu? Xia Shu immediately nodded. The master was worried you might be in danger, so he told me to secretly follow you. But before he could say anything more, one of Xiaoming's bodyguards suddenly charged at him. Boom! A heavy punch flew straight towards Xia Shu. Xia Shu quickly raised both elbows to block. Bang! Even so, he was forced to slide backward. His face changed. What immense strength! But before he could react, boom! The thug suddenly kicked him hard in the stomach and sent him crashing to the floor. The MC glanced back at Xia Shu and thought, to think Uncle Feng actually sent someone to help me, then his gaze shifted again. But with only this little skill? The two thugs stared at him with murderous expressions. If you know what's good for you. One of them pointed outside. Follow us to the courtyard. The MC calmly followed them. Soon, they arrived in the courtyard. There, two men were digging a large pit, clearly meant to bury someone. The taxi driver held a shovel and sneered. Boy, there's a road to heaven, but you refuse to take it. There's no door to hell, yet you barged right in. The bald thug coldly asked. So, are you jumping in yourself? Or should we help you? The MC helplessly held his forehead. He sighed. I really didn't want to kill anyone. His eyes slowly turned cold. So why must you force me? The taxi driver instantly exploded with rage. You're already standing at death's door and still pretending? He raised the shovel and charged straight at the MC. Take this. But in the next instant, a flash. A sharp movement. Everything happened in a split second. The MC calmly crossed past him. One hand lightly flicked away blood. Behind him, the taxi driver froze completely. His eyes widened. He couldn't breathe. Then, thud. His body dropped directly into the grave he had dug for the MC. Karma always comes back. Seeing his brother dead, the other thug instantly panicked. You little bastard! How dare you hurt my brother? I'll kill you! Roaring in rage, he charged toward the MC. But the MC killed him just as easily. One clean strike. Another body fell directly into the same grave. The very pit they had dug for him became their own burial ground. The remaining two thugs who had been watching suddenly froze. The bald thug swallowed nervously. I didn't expect you to have a few tricks up your sleeve. His voice trembled. But this is the end of the line for you. He turned toward the dagger-wielding thug. Bleed this kid out. Let him slowly wait for death. The dagger thug rushed forward. Go to hell, kid! He slashed directly toward the MC. But the MC stood completely still. Then, clang! He grabbed the blade with his bare hand. The thug froze. Before he could react, the MC grabbed his face with the other hand. Boom! With terrifying force, he slammed him into the ground. The entire courtyard shook. Dust exploded everywhere. The MC calmly wiped a little sweat from his forehead. The thug had been smashed so hard that half his body was buried underground. A huge crater had formed beneath him. The bald thug stared in complete disbelief. His legs gave out. He collapsed near the pit. Then suddenly, as if realizing something, he rushed forward and dropped to his knees. Bang! 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 He repeatedly slammed his forehead to the ground. Boss! It's all a misunderstanding. Everything was instigated by young Master One. That son of a bitch, Xiaming. We can talk this out. The MC gave him a cold, emotionless stare. Then there's no need for me to do it. He pointed toward the pit. Go down there yourself. The bald thug instantly nodded in terror. Why yes. Yes. In panic, he grabbed a huge stone and repeatedly smashed it against his own bald head. Bang! 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 Soon, he collapsed unconscious. Without another word, the MC silently turned around and walked away from the chaotic scene behind him. After wandering around for a while, the MC quietly returned to the same place. He had already buried all the dead bodies inside the pit and covered them with dirt. Now, sitting calmly on a chair placed above the buried corpses, he looked completely relaxed. Meanwhile, Xia Shu lay unconscious on the ground nearby. After some time, Xia Shu slowly regained consciousness. He sat up, still dizzy. The MC casually looked toward him and said, Xia Shu, you drove here, right? Then he calmly added, Take me to Xiaoyang Road. Xia Shu immediately nodded. Oh, okay. As he stood up, he nervously looked around. Then confusion appeared on his face. What about those guys? The MC answered calmly. They left. Xia Shu blinked in confusion but did not ask anything else. Soon, he drove the MC to his destination. After arriving, the MC calmly ordered, "You can go ahead." His tone turned serious. "Don't follow me." Xia Shu hesitated for a moment, but eventually nodded. Then the MC walked toward the same old woman he had met earlier. The moment she saw him, she immediately recognized him. "Young man!" She quickly stood up and looked at him strangely. "Why are you only arriving now? That girl has already been back for quite a while." The MC nodded politely. "Got it. Thank you, ma'am." After that, he walked toward the girl's house and knocked on the door. Knock. Knock. Soon the door opened. A young girl stepped outside. "Who are you looking for?" The MC looked at her carefully. "You must be Sun Xian, right?" The girl froze. A strange look immediately appeared on her face. "You have the wrong person." She shook her head. "I don't know any Sun Xian." The MC calmly continued. "I'm your brother's best friend, Jiang Hao." Then he slowly took out a jade pendant. "This is your brother's jade pendant." The moment she saw it, her expression changed. She instantly recognized it. That really was her brother's pendant. Worry immediately filled her face. "Where is my brother right now?" The MC went silent for a moment. Then he forced a small smile. "Your brother is currently very busy. He can't return for now because of work. So he asked me to check on you." The girl instantly relaxed. "As long as Big Brother is okay." She quickly moved aside. "Brother Jiang, please come in." She looked embarrassed. "I was rude earlier." The MC stepped inside. But the moment he entered, he noticed an old woman lying sick in bed. She looked extremely weak. The MC frowned slightly. "Why don't I see your younger brother, Sun Lei?" The girl's expression immediately darkened. "Lazy." But before she could continue, bang! Someone suddenly rushed inside in panic. "Sister Xian! This is bad!" A young man came running through the door. "Something happened to Brother Lei." The girl quickly stopped him. "Dongji, calm down. Take a breath first." Then she anxiously asked, "What happened to Lei Zi?" Dongji nervously explained. "Brother Lei's business was doing perfectly fine. But another boss in the fresh produce market came looking for trouble. He claimed Brother Lei was monopolizing the market. He demanded 1 million in compensation and told him to get out. Brother Lei naturally refused, and they started arguing." His face turned ugly. "But who knew the person backing them?" His voice trembled. "Would be Black Panther." The moment the girl heard that name, her face instantly turned pale. Soon, the scene shifted. The three of them were sitting inside a van. As they drove, the girl explained everything to the MC. "A year and a half ago, our mother became seriously ill. So Sun Lei had no choice but to take a high-interest loan from the black market." She clenched her fists. "But they tampered with the loan contract. We can't even afford the interest anymore." Her voice turned bitter. "Black Panther runs the loan shark business." A while later, the van stopped in front of a luxurious entertainment venue. Passion Flying Bar. The three stepped out. The MC turned toward Dongji. "Wait outside." Dongji hesitated. "But," the girl quickly interrupted, "it's dangerous inside." "Dongji, just listen to Brother Jiang." Reluctantly, he agreed. Soon, the MC and the girl entered the bar. The moment they stepped inside, countless eyes turned toward the unfamiliar faces. The atmosphere was chaotic. Music blasted loudly. Women laughed while spending other people's money. Cash flew through the air. Drinking, shouting, fighting, everything mixed together. Nearby, a brutal fight was happening. One muscular man was beating a bald man badly before finally knocking him down. Cheers instantly erupted. Meanwhile, inside a private area, loud laughter echoed. There, a bald man sat comfortably on a sofa while puffing on a cigar. Across from him sat a well-dressed man in a suit calmly drinking wine. The bald man grinned arrogantly. "Old Zheng, I heard the karate master you hired from Japan at a huge price is pretty strong, right?" The suited man smiled. "He really is." Just then, one of the bald man's lackeys rushed over. "Brother Bao! Sun Lei's sister is here." The bald man waved lazily. "Let her in." Soon, the thug brought both the girl and the MC over. "Brother Bao, I brought them." The girl immediately bowed respectfully. "Brother Bao." The bald man leaned back arrogantly. "Cut the crap." His expression darkened. "Pay the money, or say goodbye to Sunlay's tendons." The MC calmly stepped forward. "Brother Bao, we're here to resolve the debt issue. There's no need for violence." But instantly, one of the thugs stepped forward aggressively. "Kid, are you tired of living? How dare you address Brother Bao like that?" Before he could act, Brother Bao suddenly stood up. "Wait." He slowly walked toward the MC, cigar still in his mouth. Then he looked him up and down. "Fine. Tell me, how exactly do you plan to resolve this?" His tone became threatening. "If I'm not satisfied, you'll die miserably." The MC remained calm. "Loan sharking is illegal. Lazy never borrowed that much money. I'll give you 50,000. And we write off the debt." He paused. "As for illegally kidnapping him, if you apologize to Sunlay later, we won't pursue the matter further." The moment Brother Bao heard this, he burst into loud laughter. "Ha ha! You've got guts!" His face darkened. "I, Black Panther, have been in the underworld for over a decade. No one has ever dared insult me like this." The MC calmly replied. "If I win, the debt is completely written off, right?" Brother Bao laughed again. "You're arrogant." He pointed toward the arena. "If you actually win, not only will the debt disappear, I'll kneel and call you Grandpa." Soon, the entire group headed toward the underground boxing arena. The girl looked nervous. She had no idea how strong the MC really was. Meanwhile, Brother Bao grinned proudly. He also had no idea what kind of nightmare was about to hit him. Soon, the MC stepped into the fighting arena. His opponent immediately mocked him. "Come here, little brat." The referee stepped forward. "Begin." The opponent moved first. Boom! A heavy punch flew straight toward the MC. The girl instantly panicked and shut her eyes. But, the next moment, the MC suddenly appeared in midair. Bang! The opponent smashed violently into the corner wall instead. He clutched his head in pain. Blood slowly trickled down. Meanwhile, the MC stood on the opposite side, smiling calmly, almost teasing him. The man's eyes instantly turned red with rage. Roaring furiously, he charged at the MC once again. Yet the MC remained completely calm. Because of the kick MC landed in the fighting arena, the second fighter staggered backward while clutching his head. However, his anger did not calm down. Instead, it grew even stronger because blood was streaming from his head. Enraged, he charged at MC once again. But this time, MC effortlessly stopped his punch with just one hand. Then he drove a powerful punch straight into the fighter's stomach. Immediately after that, he landed a vicious uppercut on his chin, followed by a crushing kick to the side of his elbow. In the next moment, MC unleashed a relentless storm of kicks, battering the fighter without giving him any chance to recover. Finally, with one devastating finishing blow, he sent the man flying through the air, throwing him completely out of the ring. The gang leader, who was watching from the side, was utterly shocked when he saw his own fighter defeated so decisively. MC then stood directly in front of him and calmly said, "Someone who hasn't even entered the blood and chi realm is already considered an expert." The bald gang boss was completely stunned. He muttered in disbelief. "How is this even possible?" Meanwhile, the young woman watching the fight was overjoyed. After witnessing MC's fighting style, she was completely amazed. On the other side, the man wearing the suit smiled quietly, realizing that MC was far from an ordinary person. MC stepped out of the ring and walked straight toward the bald boss. Looking him in the eyes, he said, "It's time to fulfill your promise. Kneel down and call me Grandpa." But how could the boss surrender so easily? He immediately pulled out a gun and pointed it at MC. With a hateful expression, he declared that he didn't like MC at all and completely despised him. Behind MC, the young woman became worried for his safety, but MC remained perfectly calm. He casually pulled out a small blade and said, "I really don't want to kill anyone, but you're forcing my hand." The bald boss paid no attention to his warning and instantly pulled the trigger. The bullet shot straight toward MC at incredible speed. But in the very next moment, MC's expression sharpened. With a single swift motion, he sliced the bullet cleanly into 2 pieces and hurled his knife directly into the bald boss's head. The blade buried itself in his skull, ending his life on the spot. Everyone around was thrown into complete panic because a murder had just taken place. When the boss's subordinates realized that their leader was dead, they became even more terrified. They immediately dropped to their knees before MC and desperately begged him to spare their lives. At that moment, the man in the suit stepped forward and said, "Brother, I have a proposal. I'm not sure whether I should bring it up." MC replied, "Go ahead." The suited man then explained, "Wasn't your friend kidnapped by Black Panther? You can have these people help secure that person's release. There are security cameras all over this bar, so the fact that you killed Black Panther definitely cannot be hidden. But I can help you take care of the aftermath." MC looked at him and asked, "Why should I trust you?" The man smiled and answered, "You're a smart person. I simply want to make a friend and help each other out. Who knows? Maybe someday in the future I'll need your help as well." After hearing that, MC accepted the proposal and told the man to handle the entire situation. The suited man gladly agreed to the arrangement. MC then left with the young woman by his side. As he watched them walk away, the suited man thought to himself, "This man is extraordinary. I believe we'll meet again very soon." The scene then shifts to the next day, where the entire Fong family is gathered together for breakfast. Suddenly, the young woman sitting at the table says, "It's all because of him that my sister has been staying at a hotel and refuses to come back. I haven't seen her in so long." Uncle Fong immediately responds, "No one will think you're mute if you don't speak." At that moment, MC stands up and says, "I'm full. I'm going out for a walk." However, just as he is about to leave, Uncle Fong stops him. MC asks what the matter is, and Uncle Fong hands him an important document, explaining that it is urgent and asking him to deliver it to Yun. MC agrees to do it. Uncle Fong tells him, "I'll arrange everything. I'll give you Yun's phone number as well as the company's address." After taking the documents, MC prepares to leave, but from behind, Yun's younger sister mutters, "Sooner or later, I'll make him get the hell out of our house." Sometime later, MC arrives at the company. After entering the building, he tells the receptionist that he has come to deliver some documents sent by President Fong. The young woman politely points him in the right direction and informs him that he needs to go upstairs. MC thanks her and heads straight toward the elevator. But just as the elevator doors open, a tall and heavily built man steps out. He is dressed in a suit, wearing a hat and black sunglasses. The moment MC sees him, he recognizes him immediately and thinks to himself, "Black Phantom, an internationally wanted A-rank assassin. Why did he come to Willing? Could he be here hunting for a woman?" With that thought lingering in his mind, the elevator doors quietly close. After that, MC walked straight to Yubin's office, opened the door, and entered without hesitation. Seeing this immediately irritated Yubin, and she said, "Next time, at least knock before coming in or ask for permission." MC did not say much. He simply replied, "I brought the documents you asked for." Yubin answered, "They've already been delivered, so you can leave now." However, MC did not forget to tease her. He said, "Yubin, at the very least, you should know how to treat your guests properly." Hearing that, she fell silent. MC then took another step forward and warned her, "The situation outside isn't very safe right now. Before going out for business matters, you should be more careful." After saying that, he turned around and started walking away. But Yubin called out, "Jiang Hao, you're too pretty for a man to actually curse a girl with such vicious words." MC calmly replied, "I'm not cursing you. I'm only telling you to be careful." Afterward, he walked out of the building. Just then, a speeding car rushed directly toward him before coming to an abrupt stop right in front of him. Sitting inside was Haoming, who had purposely driven over to meet him. MC asked, "What's going on?" Haoming immediately invited him to participate in a street racing event. At first, MC showed no interest in racing and started to walk away. But then Haoming suddenly offered him 1 million as the prize. The moment MC heard about the money, he stopped in his tracks. At the moment, he was short on cash and needed funds to handle several matters, so he became interested for the sake of the reward. He even negotiated, saying, "500,000? Haoming nodded without hesitation and replied, "Definitely." MC simply answered, "Deal." Haoming laughed, and the two of them got into the car before speeding away together. After some time, they arrived at a desert-like mountain cliff area where the race was going to take place. Several of Haoming's friends were already waiting there. When they noticed MC, they immediately asked who he was. Haoming introduced him by saying, "His name is Jianghao." The moment they heard his name, everyone burst into laughter and started making fun of him. One person sneered, "So he's the one who stole the future wife of the young master of the Wen family." Another added, "I was wondering who it was. Turns out he's the future son-in-law of the Feng family." A young woman commented, "This pretty boy definitely has a few tricks up his sleeve." Then the man standing in front laughed and said, "We've all heard about it. It's a good thing his father died. If he hadn't, old Feng probably wouldn't have had the heart to marry his daughter to him." The moment MC heard someone speaking disrespectfully about his father, anger instantly filled his eyes. He walked straight up to the man and coldly asked, "Boy, what did you just say?" The man arrogantly replied, "It's my mouth. I'll say whatever the hell I want." MC simply answered, "Very well." The man scoffed and said, "Quit nagging and let's get started already." At that moment, Haoming approached MC and whispered, "That loud mouth is Lei Sahu, the ultimate son of the Lei family. He's not someone to be underestimated." MC calmly responded, "Perfect." Soon after, the three racers got ready for the competition. Sahu arrogantly declared, "You guys sure have some nerve specifically asking to race against me. I'll let you witness the consequences of offending me." MC then asked Haoming, "Who's the second guy?" Haoming explained, "His name is Jin Shinsui from the Jin family. You can consider him an expert racer." Moments later, the countdown began, and the race officially started. Sahu's car immediately took the lead. Jin Shinsui followed in second place, while MC's car remained in last. MC then told Haoming, "Don't chase that guy. Sahu has modified his engine for extreme speed. It's too dangerous." Meanwhile, the two drivers ahead looked into their mirrors, saw MC's car lagging behind, and laughed. Haoming frowned and muttered, "Why is this guy slowing down? He must be trying to mess with me on the track." MC calmly replied, "If we keep driving like this, I reckon we'll finish dead last. That lunatic up front only wants to play by himself. Forget about getting a good placement. It'll be hard for you to even get down this mountain safely." Haoming shot back, "Don't just talk. If you're so good, then you drive." The instant he said that, MC shoved Haoming toward the back seat, slid into the driver's seat himself, and ordered, "Get in the back. I'll drive." Haoming stared at him in disbelief and exclaimed, "Are you out of your mind? Are you trying to get us killed?" MC ignored him completely and took full control of the wheel. He immediately accelerated at incredible speed. When Haoming noticed a dangerous cliff approaching ahead, he became terrified and repeatedly told MC to slow down. But MC never hit the brakes. Instead, he executed a flawless drift around the corner. Haoming was left completely speechless because MC had already overtaken the racer in second place. Amazed by the performance, he praised him, saying, "I originally thought you were just some country bumpkin, big brother, but you actually know how to drive. That drift was no worse than a professional racer's." Meanwhile, when Sahu noticed that MC's white car had overtaken the second-place vehicle, he became irritated. He assumed Haoming was still driving and thought his skills had improved. Even so, he remained confident and looked ahead with a cold smile. At the next V-shaped turn, he muttered, "I'm going to make you flip over." Back in MC's car, he casually took a drink of water. Watching this, Haoming panicked and shouted, "There's a V-shaped sharp turn only 30 meters ahead, and you're drinking water at a time like this?" MC showed no concern whatsoever. He calmly replied, "Don't panic. The real show is only just beginning." Soon, the V-shaped turn came into view, but MC handled the car with astonishing ease. Seeing this, Sahu muttered, "There isn't enough space. That car won't be able to overtake now." At that exact moment, MC accelerated, pulling his car perfectly alongside the other two vehicles. Seeing this shocked Sahu even more, because MC was about to pass him. Filled with rage, Sahu cursed loudly and yelled, "If you want to die, then go die!" He slammed on the accelerator, trying to leave MC behind. But just then, one of his car's wheels drifted dangerously close to the very edge of the mountain road, with part of the tire slipping toward the roadside. Just then, a sharp turn appeared ahead. As Sahu entered the corner, his car lightly scraped against the roadside railing. The impact threw the vehicle off balance, causing it to lift into the air before flipping over and crashing down the mountainside. With that, it became clear that MC had won the race. Afterward, the group headed toward another location. On the way, Haoming received a phone call from his cousin brother, who immediately congratulated him on winning the championship. Surprised, Haoming replied, "You already know about it?" His cousin laughed and answered, "Of course, it was bound to happen." He then invited Haoming to come celebrate together with Brother Crow that very day. However, Haoming politely declined, saying they could celebrate another time. But his cousin insisted. Haoming explained that he wasn't alone and that his future brother-in-law, Jiang Hao, was with him. The moment his cousin heard MC's name, he became even more enthusiastic and said that Jiang Hao was a rather mysterious person, so they had been looking forward to meeting him. MC immediately refused and said he had no intention of going. However, Haoming's cousin insisted once again, saying that his younger brother was personally inviting him. Haoming also tried to persuade MC, and in the end, despite not wanting to go, MC reluctantly agreed. The scene then shifted to a hospital. Sahu was lying in a hospital bed with a broken leg and severe injuries all over his body. His parents had also arrived. His mother anxiously asked, "How did this happen to you?" Sahu grimaced in pain and replied, "It hurts so much." At that moment, his father exploded in anger. "How dare that brat injure my son like this? His arms and legs are practically broken." Sahu then sat up and revealed that, during the crash, he had seen the person driving the other car. It was Jiang Hao. Hearing that, his father's expression darkened. So that live-in son-in-law of the Feng family has become this bold? He swore that he would take revenge the very next day. Meanwhile, Sahu secretly smiled to himself. "My father is truly furious. Jiang Hao is as good as dead now." The story then shifted to a private room inside the Jungle Hotel, where MC arrived together with Haoming. A man warmly welcomed him inside. Haoming introduced MC to his cousin brother as his future brother-in-law, and his cousin politely greeted him and offered him a seat. Everyone seemed pleased to see MC at first. However, there were still plenty of people who mocked him, calling him an ordinary nobody while gossiping about his engagement and various rumors surrounding him. MC quietly endured all of their taunts without saying a word. Haoming then whispered, "These people are all influential figures in the city. If you maintain a good relationship with them, they'll look after you here. You should make a toast with everyone." But MC calmly replied that he did not enjoy drinking alcohol. Just then, one of the men filled a glass to the brim and pushed it toward MC. He arrogantly declared, "Damn it! You can't refuse this drink in front of me. I'm Crow. If you refuse, it means you're looking down on me." Haoming immediately stood up to smooth things over. "Brother Crow, isn't this a bit too much? That glass is practically full of strong liquor. How about I share a little with my brother instead?" But Crow waved him off and coldly replied, "This has nothing to do with you. Brother Crow gets angry whenever someone disrespects him." Deep down, however, Crow had another motive. He wanted revenge on MC because the broken relationship between the Feng family and the Wang family had damaged his future business interests, and he intended to teach MC a painful lesson. MC calmly asked, "And what happens if I drink this glass?" Crow answered, "If you drink one glass, it means you're giving me face. It means you're showing me respect." He then added while pushing the drink forward, "If you drink one glass, I'll drink one too. If you drink 10 glasses, I'll drink 10 glasses as well." The moment those words left his mouth, MC ignored the glass entirely. Instead, he picked up the entire bottle and emptied it in a single gulp. After finishing it, he held up the empty bottle toward Crow and calmly said, "Your turn." Everyone in the room was stunned. The amount MC had just consumed was equivalent to nearly 3 gin of liquor, an amount that even Brother Crow himself would struggle to drink. Crow's expression immediately darkened with anger. "You're trying to screw with me." Without backing down, he also grabbed an entire bottle and attempted to chug it in one go. However, he couldn't finish it. His condition quickly deteriorated, and one of his subordinates hurriedly asked whether he was alright. At that moment, Haoming's cousin only made matters worse. He looked at MC and remarked, "Brother Hao, you really hid your true abilities well. Having such an incredible tolerance for alcohol and keeping it secret. Were you pretending to be an easy target while making fools out of us? Even though you're my future cousin-in-law, I stand with reason, not family. I'm on Brother Crow's side." Hearing those words only fueled Crow's anger further. He cursed at MC and shouted, "How dare you play me? I'll kill you right here today." MC looked at him without fear and calmly replied, "You brought this upon yourself." The instant Crow heard those words, he grabbed the bottle in his hand and hurled it straight at MC. MC casually watched it fly toward him and effortlessly dodged it. Then, without hesitation, he grabbed another bottle and threw it back. The bottle struck Brother Crow directly on the head, splitting it open and drawing blood. Everyone present immediately panicked. They shouted, "Brother Crow isn't just anybody. How could you attack him? Do you have a death wish? He's Master Zheng's sworn brother." Now completely enraged, Brother Crow ordered his men, "Call everyone immediately. Tell them to bring weapons with them." His subordinates instantly obeyed. Haoming quickly turned to MC and tried to reason with him. "You can't just pick fights with everyone like this. Do you even know who these people are? There are at least 100 underlings working under them, and yet you're still sitting here calmly eating and drinking." MC looked at him plainly and replied, "I came here to eat. My stomach isn't full yet, so why should I stop eating?" Hearing that answer, Haoming sighed and said, "Whatever happens next will be on your own head." Just then, the hotel room door burst open. A large group of armed men rushed inside carrying various weapons. As soon as they entered, they called out for Brother Crow before turning their eyes directly toward the table where MC was calmly sitting. Haoming was terrified because the man who had just arrived was Machang-chin, a famous underground king in Wuling with a prominent scar across his face. He walked straight over to Brother Crow and asked with concern, "Is your injury serious? You should go to the hospital and get it bandaged." But Brother Crow refused. "I don't need any bandages," he said coldly. "Kill that man right in front of my eyes." Hearing those words, Machang-chin immediately agreed. He strode directly toward MC, his face filled with anger and frustration. "How dare you offend my brother?" he shouted. "Today, I'm going to kill you." With that, he swung his sharp weapon straight at MC. However, MC effortlessly caught the blade between 2 fingers, stopping it in place. He then slightly raised his head, revealing his face. The moment Machang-chin saw MC's face, it felt as if his soul had left his body. In the very next second, he dropped to his knees before MC and desperately begged for his life. "Mr. Jiang, I had no idea it was you." Everyone present was stunned. When they saw the feared Machang-chin kneeling before MC and pleading for mercy, they could hardly believe their eyes. Even Brother Crow was confused and shouted, "What's wrong with you, Machang-chin? Did you take the wrong medicine or something?" Machang-chin immediately glared at him and ordered him to stay quiet. Inside his mind, he vividly remembered witnessing MC kill Black Panther in the underground arena and defeat that Japanese samurai. More importantly, Master Zheng had already made it clear after the underground boxing arena incident that no one was allowed to reveal what had happened there. MC then calmly said, "Good thing you recognized me. Otherwise, your corpse would be lying here as well." Machang-chin gratefully thanked MC for sparing his life. MC waved his hand and said, "Stand up now. Don't interrupt my meal. Leave." Machang-chin respectfully thanked him once again and prepared to leave. But Brother Crow stopped him. "No one is leaving." Hearing that, Machang-chin turned toward him and warned, "Crow, you're making a huge mistake. You've picked a fight with the wrong person. If you want to save your life, leave this place immediately." At the same time, he remembered Master Zheng's order that absolutely no one should reveal what had happened in the underground boxing arena. Nevertheless, Brother Crow refused to listen. Instead, He loudly announced that anyone who managed to kill MC would receive a reward of 1 million. The promise of such an enormous reward shocked even Machang Chen's own companions. Tempted by the money, they prepared to risk their lives and stepped forward to attack MC. Before they could move any closer, Machang Chen himself attacked them and blocked their path. "If you want to stay alive, then leave quietly," he warned. "Otherwise, whatever happens next won't be my responsibility. And if anyone dares to disrespect Mr. Jiang again, they'll answer to me." Hearing his warning, fear spread through the group. Machang Chen then led his people away. Brother Crow also started leaving, but before departing, he glared at MC and said through clenched teeth, "This isn't over yet. Just wait for me." With that, he stormed out. The scene then shifted elsewhere. A news report was playing on a mobile phone. Last night, one of the city's top 3 female middle school students was brutally murdered after being assaulted. The crime scene is located only 1 kilometer away from the school. Police are making every effort to solve the case and are urging women to minimize unnecessary outings to protect their own safety. The report was being watched by the very man responsible for the crime. While casually drinking alcohol, he muttered, "Although yesterday's student was pure, she wasn't very exciting. More mature women are still better." Just then, he received a phone call. After answering it, someone asked whether he had completed his mission. The man replied that he still hadn't found the person who had killed his brother Black Panther. "No matter what," he said, "I'll find that man and make him pay the price." Meanwhile, another man sitting inside a car spoke to him over the phone. "You really haven't been doing your actual work. You've been running around chasing women again. Wuxing is the birthplace of martial arts, and nobody knows how many hidden masters are there. Be careful," he continued. "Black Butterfly has just sent the latest intelligence. The 3 S-rank assassins hired by the Chu family have already entered Wuxing's territory." Hearing this, the man was visibly surprised. "In that case, it seems Brother Zhou won't be able to make a move this time." The person on the other end warned him again. "I'm warning you. She is currently the focus of the dark world. Don't become overconfident," the man casually replied. "Relax. I know exactly what I'm doing." Just then, someone knocked on his door. Maintaining full caution, he approached while holding a pistol fitted with a suppressor. After opening the door, another man entered and respectfully addressed him as Second Master. "So I finally get to see you," the visitor said. The Second Master nodded. "Come inside and talk," he immediately asked. "Tell me, who killed my brother?" The visitor answered. "It was a country bumpkin named Feng Wu. He's the live-in son-in-law of the Feng family." The Second Master frowned. "How strong could a mere live-in son-in-law possibly be?" The visitor then showed him surveillance footage along with a photograph of Jiang Hao. "Of course he can't compare to you, Second Master. However, this live-in son-in-law is quite handsome. People say his looks aren't inferior even to famous celebrities." The moment the Second Master looked at the photo, vile thoughts crossed his mind. "Then I'll capture him," he sneered. "I'll capture his fiancée, violate her right in front of Jiang Hao, and then kill her." The story then shifted back to MC. He was heading somewhere to buy a gift and thought to himself, "There's still plenty of money left from what I earned over the past few days. After helping the Red Wolf family, I'll buy an ancient painting as a gift for Master." Soon, he arrived at Lanjian Pavilion. After entering, he looked around at the various antiques and artworks on display. Before long, his attention was drawn to a particular painting. A staff member walked over and explained, "This is picture of green pines, created by the Wood Dynasty painter Jiang Guiyang." Several other customers also gathered around the artwork, admiring it and praising its quality. Suddenly, MC calmly declared, "This painting is fake." Everyone nearby was stunned. The employee immediately exclaimed, "This gentleman is saying that our painting is fake." He then looked at MC seriously and said, "Sir, our establishment is a time-honored brand. You'll have to pay the price for making accusations like that." MC calmly replied, "The genuine cannot become fake, and the fake cannot become genuine. Why would I slander you?" The employee responded confidently. "Our shop offers triple compensation for any counterfeit item purchased here. In hundreds of years of business, we have never sold a fake." MC pointed directly at the painting and said, "Triple compensation for a fake, is that right? Then I want this painting. And while you're at it, tell your boss to come downstairs." Without thinking too much, the MC walked straight to the painting hanging on the wall. He carefully took it down, rolled it up, and kept it with him. Earlier, he had already asked whether the boss would come downstairs. The servant working there replied, "The boss is in a meeting on the 5th floor and has no time for guests today." But the MC was not someone who would listen to such excuses. He immediately started climbing the stairs and said, "If he won't come down, then I'll go straight up." The scene then shifted directly to the boss's room. Inside, 2 guests were present, and the boss was proudly showing them a painting. Both guests were praising it continuously, complimenting its quality and artistry. At that moment, the MC suddenly entered the room. When the boss saw him, he was startled and immediately said, "This is a restricted area. Please leave immediately, sir." However, the MC ignored him and walked straight to the table. Looking directly at the boss, he said, "I bought a fake painting in your store, and I'm here for an explanation." The moment those words came out, the boss's expression darkened. He angrily shouted, "Nonsense! My Longyan Pavilion has enjoyed a flawless reputation ever since it opened. How could there possibly be a fake?" The 2 guests immediately sided with him. The first guest said, "Young man, you've already caused enough trouble. Hurry up and apologize." The second guest added, "That's right. Otherwise, if Brother Joe gets serious, it'll be too late for regrets." The MC remained completely calm. He placed the painting on the table, unfolded it, and confidently said, "You can reappraise this painting yourself and see whether it's fake or not." The boss narrowed his eyes and replied, "If the appraisal proves that you're slandering us, don't blame me for being ruthless." The MC calmly answered, "I'll be at your disposal." The old boss then picked up a magnifying glass and carefully began examining the painting. After inspecting it for a while, he became more confident and loudly declared, "This painting is clearly authentic. Where exactly do you see that it's fake?" The MC smiled and asked, "Are you sure?" The old man snorted and turned toward the 2 guests. "You two should take a look as well. Let's not allow this youngster to spread rumors that Longyan Pavilion deals in counterfeits." The 2 guests stepped forward and inspected the painting. The first one nodded and said, "This is indeed an authentic work by Jinggang." The second guest agreed immediately. "Exactly. I don't know whether you're intentionally smearing us or simply pretending to understand something beyond your abilities." Both men continuously echoed the boss's opinion. The MC shook his head and said, "I thought that since you call yourselves experts in antiques, you would have at least some knowledge. But now it seems you're nothing special." The words instantly angered all 3 of them. "Insolence!" The first guest shouted. "I originally didn't want to argue with you, but you're becoming more and more unreasonable." "Such an arrogant youngster," the second guest added. "This is completely intolerable." At that moment, the MC pointed toward a specific area of the painting and said, "Look here. Examine this place carefully and see if anything feels wrong." The old man immediately lifted the magnifying glass and zoomed in on the spot. After studying it, he frowned. "There's obviously no problem here. What kind of trick are you playing?" The MC smiled confidently. "Although this painting is a fake, the copier's imitation skills are extraordinary. If I hadn't been careful, even I might have been fooled. The only flaw in this copy is that it's too perfect. It doesn't have the slightest imperfection. But Jingguyang's paintings always contain minor flaws. A fake is still a fake. Even if it surpasses the original, it remains a counterfeit." The boss sneered. "So stubborn. Fine, I'll let you die knowing the truth." One guest scoffed. "A copy surpassing the original? What nonsense!" The old boss immediately made a phone call. "Bring me Jingguyang's authentic painting and a magnifying glass with over 10 times magnification. Bring them upstairs immediately." A short while later, Jingguyang's genuine painting was brought over. Now the authentic painting and the fake painting purchased by the MC from Longyan Pavilion were placed side by side. The old boss folded his arms and said, "You're not going to claim that this landscape painting is fake too, are you?" The MC shook his head. "This one is definitely authentic. Although both paintings have a similar artistic style, The landscape painting contains subtle flaws hidden within its brushstrokes. Meanwhile, the green pine painting is simply too perfect. There are no flaws whatsoever. The MC then raised the magnifying glass and said, "If you don't believe me, use this magnifying glass and compare them carefully." The old man immediately complied. As soon as he examined them closely, his eyes widened in shock. The copier actually surpassed the original painter. The two guests hurriedly looked again. After examining the paintings, one of them sighed deeply. "We've studied calligraphy and paintings for decades, yet we still failed to realize that this was a fake." The second guest shook his head in embarrassment. "This is truly shameful." Only now did they realize how foolish they had been. Just moments ago, they were mocking the MC for lacking knowledge. In reality, the three of them were the ones who had failed to see the truth. The MC had completely exposed their ignorance. Seeing that the matter was settled, the MC calmly said, "Since it's been confirmed that this painting is fake, Longyan Pavilion should honor its promise and compensate me 3 times the purchase price. Correct?" The old boss immediately nodded. "Of course, this old man's shop has been operating for decades. How could I go back on my word?" The MC replied. "There's no need to transfer money. Just allow me to choose a painting of equal value instead." The old boss agreed without hesitation. The MC then walked through the room and stopped in front of another painting. Looking at it carefully, he said, "This one isn't bad. It's a pity that its value should be around 2 million. My compensation isn't quite enough." The old man smiled and said, "Then I'll cover the remaining $800,000 for you, and there's no need for you to pay it back." The MC looked at him suspiciously. "The old gentleman is certainly generous. There aren't any strings attached, are there?" The old boss glanced at the painting and chuckled. "I simply want to make friends with you, young man." The MC was slightly surprised. After a brief pause, he nodded. "All right then. I accept you as a friend." After saying that, he turned around and left Longyan Pavilion. As soon as he departed, one of the guests asked, "Brother Joe, you possess such a prominent status. Why would you spend so much money just to befriend a junior?" The old man smiled knowingly. Jianhao's eyesight is at least 10 times sharper than that of ordinary people. His martial talent must be equally extraordinary. Spending $800,000 to make friends with someone like him. I'm actually the one gaining a huge advantage. Afterward, the MC returned home. At that moment, Uncle Feng and the rest of the Feng family were gathered around the dining table eating dinner. As soon as he entered, Uncle Feng smiled. "Jianhao, you're back just in time. Come eat with us." The MC walked over and took a seat. The moment Grandpa noticed the painting in his hand, his eyes widened. "Jianhao, is that a calligraphy painting in your hand?" The MC nodded. "Yes. I just bought it at Longyan Pavilion." Hearing the words Longyan Pavilion, Grandpa was instantly shocked. "How did you get into Elder Zhou's store? There are too many fakes on Antique Street these days. Young people shouldn't be so easily fooled." "Let me take a look," the MC calmly replied. "Rest assured. I already had it appraised. It's authentic." Grandpa immediately frowned. Before he could say anything, Uncle Feng looked surprised as well. At that moment, Aunt Feng suddenly asked, "Even if it's authentic, where did you get the money to buy a painting? The Feng family hasn't been funding you." Just then, Feng Haoming spoke up. "Mom, Brother Hao helped me win a race." But his mother immediately interrupted him. "Shut up." The MC then explained. "I found a fake at Longyan Pavilion, so they compensated me. Elder Zhou also helped cover the remaining amount because he wanted to make friends." The moment Grandpa heard that, he snorted. "Full of lies. Zhou Chengxing is a famous figure in the antique world. Why would someone like him need help from a junior like you?" Aunt Feng also shook her head. "Dad, I don't mind Jianhao being poor. But for him to boast and exaggerate so wildly, that shows a serious character problem. How can my daughter marry someone like him?" The MC immediately stood up. His expression remained completely indifferent. "I'm telling the truth. If you don't believe me, there's nothing I can do. I'm done eating. I'm going upstairs to rest." True to his personality, the MC didn't care what others thought of him. He simply turned around and walked away. Uncle Feng hurriedly called after him. Jian Hao! But the MC didn't even stop. Watching him leave, and Feng coldly said, Look! This is the person you chose. Uncle Feng sighed deeply. I owe Jian Hao's father my life. No matter what happens, I won't abandon him. I'll find an opportunity to have a proper talk with him later. The scene then shifted back to Longyan Pavilion. Inside, Elder Zhou was staring at the fake painting. At that moment, a man named Han Feng entered the room. Elder Zhou asked, How did the investigation go? It turned out he had secretly investigated the MC's background. Han Feng respectfully reported, Master, Jian Hao is indeed the live-in son-in-law of the Feng family. The old man nodded and said, Han Feng, I know it's rare for someone to reach the early stage of blood and qi cultivation before the age of 30. But Jian Hao must absolutely not be underestimated. Remember that. Han Feng looked doubtful. Master, it's not that I'm underestimating him, but everyone in the Feng family, except Feng Wuming, looks down on this live-in son-in-law. The old man replied firmly. Han Feng, do something for him. The scene then shifted once again to the Feng family. Han Feng had already arrived there. Present were Grandpa Feng, Uncle Feng, and Uncle Feng's wife. Grandpa Feng looked at the invitation in his hand and asked in disbelief. You're saying this is an invitation? Elder Zhou asked you to personally deliver it, inviting the entire Feng family to attend the Zhou family banquet on the 10th of next month? Han Feng nodded. That's correct. Uncle Feng immediately asked. May I ask why Elder Zhou invited all of us to his family banquet? Han Feng's expression turned serious. Why ask so many questions? Do you not want to attend? Uncle Feng's wife quickly smiled. Young man, please don't be angry. We were simply curious. Han Feng glanced around the room and suddenly asked, Why isn't Jiang Hao at home? And what happens next is going to be an absolute bombshell. The scene then shifts back to Uncle Feng, who is left completely stunned after hearing Zhou's words. Unable to believe what he just heard, he immediately asks, You know Jian Hao? At the same time, countless thoughts begin racing through his mind. The Feng family has always wanted to build a relationship with the Zhou family, but we've never had the opportunity. So why would the Zhou family personally send someone to deliver an invitation at a time like this? Could it be Haozi really wasn't lying? Zhou simply smiles before replying. The name of Jian Hao, the Feng family's live-in son-in-law, has already spread throughout Kuling City. Who doesn't know him? The scene then cuts to Jiang Hao himself. He's sitting peacefully at a small dumpling shop, casually eating steamed dumplings while thinking to himself. It's about time I prepared a gift for Master. I should also buy some new clothes. I'll head to the mall in a little while. Just then, someone suddenly sits beside him and casually grabs one of his dumplings without asking. Jian Hao pauses and looks at the stranger in confusion. The person is none other than Phantom, who has come solely to threaten him. Jian Hao frowns. I paid for those dumplings. Why are you eating them without my permission? Phantom smirks. You're getting angry over one dumpling? His smile quickly disappears. You killed my brother. How do you think we're supposed to settle that debt? Jiang Hao calmly asks. Who's your brother? Phantom's eyes turn murderous. Black Panther. For my brother's death. I'll make you repay it 100 times over. After leaving behind those chilling words, Phantom turns around and walks away. Watching his back disappear, Jian Hao narrows his eyes. In Black Phantom's eyes, the Feng family is my weakness. He'll definitely target them first. Uncle Feng has always treated me well. Looks like I can't visit Master today after all. Just then, another group arrives. Leading them is Feng Jiadong, Jian Hao's future sister-in-law, accompanied by several classmates who clearly came looking for trouble. The moment she sees him, she points at him angrily. Jian Hao! I already know you lied to deceive my parents and grandpa yesterday. You're truly morally corrupt, one of her friends laughs mockingly. So you're the famous live-in son-in-law of the Feng family? Jian Hao, seeing you today really lives up to your reputation. Jian Hao doesn't even bother getting angry. Instead, he calmly replies, I'd advise you to actually attend your classes properly instead of hanging around with these shady people. His words instantly infuriate the group. One of them yells, How dare you insult us? Are you tired of living? Jianhao answers in a cold voice. Whether you admit it or not, you already know what's in your hearts. These people are involved with drugs. Sooner or later, they'll all be arrested. After saying that, he simply walks away. Feng Jiadong immediately shouts after him. Are you even a man? Running away like a cowardly turtle? One of her friends sneers. Let's follow him. We'll teach him a lesson. The group secretly follows Jianhao through the streets until everyone eventually enters a deserted alley. Jianhao had already noticed them following him from the very beginning, but he chooses to ignore them. Suddenly, several black vans drive into the alley and completely block his path. The doors slide open. More than a dozen thugs step out, each carrying heavy iron rods. Their intentions couldn't be more obvious. A muscular man slowly walks to the front of the group. The moment Feng Jiadong and her friends see him, their faces instantly change. That's Crazy Brother! Feng Jiadong gasps. Are you talking about Lord Lei's most trusted subordinate? Crazy Brother? One of her friends nods nervously. Your future brother-in-law must have offended Lord Lei. Lord Lei definitely sent Crazy Brother here for revenge. Another person adds. Crazy Brother is Lord Lei's #1 blade. Your future brother-in-law is in serious trouble. Although Feng Jiadong despises Jianhao, she still can't help becoming worried. Even if I hate him, he's still my brother-in-law. Go, please ask Crazy Brother to spare Jianhao. Her friend immediately shakes his head. We can't help. And honestly, we don't want to. He even coldly adds. Besides, if he dies, wouldn't your sister finally be free from marrying him? Ignoring everyone else, Jianhao calmly looks at Crazy Brother. What do you want? Crazy Brother grins viciously. What do we want? Because of you, Lord Lei's son was injured after his car flipped over, so we're here to return the favor. By crippling you. Jianhao doesn't move an inch. Instead, he calmly says, I'll stand right here. Come at me. Hearing those arrogant words, Crazy Brother roars in anger and charges forward. Give me your life! Feng Jiadong instinctively closes her eyes. She can't bear to watch the bloodshed that's about to happen. But, boom! A deafening impact echoes through the alley. Jianhao's kick lands squarely on Crazy Brother's face. Blood sprays from his mouth as his entire body is launched dozens of meters away before crashing violently onto the ground. His subordinates panic. They rush over to help him. One person can't beat him. Everyone attack together. Before anyone can move, Crazy Brother painfully climbs back to his feet while clutching his chest. His face is completely pale. He hurriedly shouts. Forget it. Take me away. We're no match for him. Without wasting another second, his men throw him back inside the van. Just as quickly as they arrived, the entire convoy speeds away from the alley. Watching everything unfold, Feng Jiadong and her friends stand frozen in complete shock. Jianhao slowly turns around and fixes them with an ice-cold stare. His voice sends chills down everyone's spine. If I ever see you together with Feng Jiadong causing trouble again, I'll skin every one of you alive! The terrifying killing intent in his eyes almost makes the young man's soul leave his body. The arrogant students who had mocked him only moments ago immediately fall to their knees. They repeatedly bow their heads. We'll never do it again. Please spare us. The scene then shifts once again. Jianhao arrives at Yuwen's office. Unlike before, he politely knocks on the door first. From inside, Yuwen says, Come in. As soon as she sees Jianhao, she frowns. Why are you here? What do you want from me? Jianhao walks over and speaks seriously. I came to remind you that the current situation is different now. You can't continue staying alone in a hotel. Yuwen's expression immediately turns cold. Don't think that just because my father made you the Feng family's live-in son-in-law, you have the right to dictate my life, she continues without hesitation. Let me make one thing clear. Even if I can't marry Brother Jihaiming right now, it'll still be impossible for me to marry you. Jianhao calmly answers. Becoming the Feng family's live-in son-in-law was never my request. You should know that better than anyone. Yuwen gives a cold laugh. That's true. It wasn't your request. But you took advantage of my father's guilt towards your father. You emotionally blackmailed him into this marriage. She stares directly into Jiang Hao's eyes before saying, "That makes you even more despicable than someone who asks for it openly." MC looked at Yuyuan and asked, "Are you really that resistant to marrying me?" Yuyuan folded her arms and replied coldly, "Between marrying you and dying, I'd rather choose death." MC sighed and said, "You really don't need to be so hostile toward me. From now on I'll give you your freedom. I promise I'll never take you as my wife. If I ever break this oath, may lightning strike me down." The moment Yuyuan heard those words, she immediately took out a pen and a piece of paper. She quickly drafted an annulment agreement and handed it to MC. "I don't believe your words unless you sign this annulment agreement." Without thinking twice, MC signed the agreement and handed it back to her. "Now you can go home. It's very unsafe for you to stay outside." Yuyuan smiled as she accepted the agreement. "Of course I'll go back, after work." MC then turned around and left. As soon as he was gone, Yuyuan immediately called Jiaming. "Brother Jiaming, I just signed the annulment agreement with Jiang Hao." The moment Jiaming heard the news, he became overjoyed. "Yuyuan, that's wonderful. I can't wait to see you." The scene then shifted to the Feng family's dinner table. Everyone was sitting together and having dinner, but Uncle Feng noticed that Yuyuan hadn't returned yet. He looked at MC and asked, "Didn't you say she was coming back for dinner? Why isn't she home yet? Give her a call." MC nodded and dialed her number, but the call couldn't connect because her phone was out of service. He frowned and thought, "Didn't she say she'd come home after work?" The scene then switched to outside a nightclub. Yuyuan and Jiaming walked out together after having a few drinks. Yuyuan was clearly much more intoxicated than Jiaming. Jiaming smiled and said, "Yuyuan, let me take you back to the hotel." Yuyuan shook her head. "Brother Jiaming, did you forget? I've already broken off my engagement with Jiang Hao. I can finally go home now." Jiaming stepped closer to her and gazed into her eyes. "You're so beautiful. I want to marry you right now." Yuyuan smiled gently. "Brother Jiaming, I'm still very traditional. I want to save my first time for our wedding night." Suddenly, a cold voice echoed behind them. "To think such a beautiful woman has still kept her purity. I really hit the jackpot." Both of them immediately turned around. A man dressed completely in black slowly walked toward them. Jiaming narrowed his eyes. "Who are you?" The man smiled mysteriously. "You'll find out who I am soon enough." The next instant, he suddenly leaped into the air and struck both of their acupoints, instantly leaving them completely immobilized. After landing on the ground, he quietly watched them struggle. Jiaming's face turned pale with fear. I can't move. My body won't move at all." He stared at the stranger in disbelief. Did you use an acupoint strike?" The black phantom suddenly appeared behind him and smiled. "You're pretty smart, kid. You actually recognize an acupoint strike." A short while later, a black car stopped in front of an abandoned factory. The black phantom stepped out, where Xiang Ji was already waiting for him. "Second Lord, you really brought them back." The black phantom nodded. "Bring them inside." When Xiang Ji opened the car door, Jiaming immediately recognized him. "Xiang Ji? What are you doing here?" Without saying a word, Xiang Ji dragged both prisoners into the factory. The black phantom asked, "Do you know this piece of trash?" Xiang Ji leaned the two captives against the wall before answering. "He's the young man whose engagement was annulled by the Feng family. He's basically one of Jiang Hao's enemies." Jiaming immediately shouted, "Who are you calling trash? My godfather, Lord Lei, is the local emperor of Wuling. If you know what's good for you, release us immediately." Before he could finish speaking, the black phantom swung his blade and sliced off one of Jiaming's ears. Holding the severed ear in his hand, he smiled cruelly. Yuyuan cried out, "This is intentional assault. If the police catch you, you'll be sentenced." Meanwhile, Jiaming screamed in unbearable pain. "My ear! My ear! My ear is gone!" The black phantom laughed. "Then the police had better have the ability to catch me." He slowly walked toward Yuyuan and gently pressed his dagger against her cheek. "Did you watch the news a few days ago? That high school girl who was violated and murdered. My master was the one who did it." Yuyuan's expression instantly changed. Only then did she finally understand why Jiang Hao had repeatedly warned her not to go outside at night. So that's why Jiang Hao told me to stay home. He was trying to protect me from this monster. Unfortunately, she realized the truth far too late. The Black Phantom then walked over to Jiaming. Completely terrified, Jiaming begged, "Second Lord, please spare me. As long as you let me live, I'll do anything." The Black Phantom nodded. "As long as you obey me, I'll spare your life." Jiaming immediately bowed his head. "Thank you, Second Lord." Just then, Xiang Ji dragged another man into the factory and threw him onto the floor. "Second Lord, Master Zhang Wu has been waiting for you." The man glared at Xiang Ji. "You've hidden yourself well to recruit such a powerful helper." Xiang Ji replied. "Second Lord is Brother Bao's biological brother. You seized Brother Bao's properties through underhanded methods and even framed the Zhang family for murder. It's only natural for Second Lord to come back and avenge his brother." Both Yuyuan and Jiaming were completely stunned. "Jiang Hao actually killed the underground boss, Black Panther?" Zhang Wu sneered. "If you're really here for revenge, then why don't you go after Jiang Hao?" "Oh, I get it. You're afraid of him." The Black Phantom burst into laughter. "You think Jiang Hao is strong? Later, I'll let you watch him kneel before me like a dog and beg for my forgiveness." Zhang Wu laughed back. "Stop bluffing. If you weren't afraid of him, you wouldn't have kidnapped me while I was asleep. You're too scared to face my brothers head-on." The Black Phantom tossed him a phone. "I'll grant your wish. Xiang Ji, dial the number for him. Let him call his brother to come and save him." The Black Phantom then walked back to Yuyuan and stared at her beautiful face. "Little beauty, you're absolutely gorgeous. Just looking at you makes me restless." Yuyuan glared at him. "Get lost. Take your filthy hands off me." Instead, the Black Phantom grabbed her by the throat. "Your fiancé, Jiang Hao, killed my brother. So I'll have my way with you right in front of him. I'll make him watch as I destroy everything he cares about." Yuyuan glared back fearlessly. "You'll pay for this." Ignoring her threat, the Black Phantom dialed Jiang Hao's number. "Jiang Hao, your future wife is currently in my hands. And you know, I love beautiful women more than anything." Back at home, Jiang Hao answered the call. "You'd better release Yuyuan right now, or I'll make you regret this." The Black Phantom chuckled. "I'm giving you 1 hour. If you don't show up, your beautiful fiancé won't remain untouched." The call ended. Without wasting another second, Jiang Hao changed into fresh clothes, leaped out of his house, and disappeared into the darkness. Jumping effortlessly from one rooftop to another, he raced toward the abandoned factory at incredible speed, determined to rescue Yuyuan before it was too late. Back at the factory, the scene shifted back to the abandoned factory. Jiaming was still pressed tightly against the wall, trembling in fear. With a shaky voice, he pleaded, "Second Master, I don't think that useless loser, Jiang Hao, would actually dare to come. Please, just let me go." Panther smirked coldly. "Let you go? So you don't care about your beloved woman anymore?" Nearby, Yunwu lowered her head in despair. "Brother Jiaming has no way to save me, and I'm afraid Jiang Hao won't dare to come either. If this scum really violates me, I'd rather bite my tongue and end my own life. I absolutely refuse to live in humiliation." Just then, a loud commotion erupted outside the factory. A large group of men rushed to the entrance, shouting as they charged inside to rescue Master Wu. 2 men led the group. One had bright red hair and carried a handgun. The other wielded a massive machete. "Master Wu, we're here." Seeing his men arrive, Master Wu's face lit up. "Crow. Ah Chang. I'm fine. My acupoints were only sealed." The red-haired man glared at Black Phantom and roared, "How dare you kidnap Master Wu with this ugly freak? I think you're tired of living." Black Phantom merely smiled. He casually tapped Master Wu's sealed acupoints, instantly restoring his movement. Then he said calmly, "Go reunite with your brothers. Only after you're no longer my hostage will they dare to attack without holding back. However, none of you are allowed to leave this factory. You can only walk out after they've killed me." Master Wu slowly stood up. Looking at Black Phantom, he nodded respectfully. I respect you as a real man. If you die today, I'll order my men to leave your corpse intact. After that, Master Wu walked back to his subordinates. One of them raised his machete and shouted, "Brothers! Cripple Hao Ji and this ugly freak, then tie them up!" The entire group immediately charged toward Black Phantom. Hao Ji was so frightened that his legs almost gave out. But Black Phantom simply smiled. Without the slightest hint of panic, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small knife. Slash! With a single lightning-fast movement, one man's head flew into the air. His headless body collapsed at Black Phantom's feet. The smile disappeared from Black Phantom's face. His eyes turned ice cold. Then, he vanished, like a ghost moving through the battlefield. His knife flashed again and again. Heads flew through the air one after another. Bodies dropped to the ground in every direction. Within moments, several men had already been slaughtered. 2 attackers tried to ambush him from behind. But Black Phantom didn't even turn around. His blade sliced through both of them effortlessly. The red-haired man and his companion were completely stunned. The remaining thugs instinctively stepped backward, terror filling their faces. Finally, the red-haired man drew his pistol. "No matter how strong you are, let's see if you can stop a bullet!" Bang! The bullet shot straight toward Black Phantom. But at the very last moment, Black Phantom casually raised his knife. Clang! The blade split the bullet perfectly in half. The 2 bullet fragments flew backward and struck 2 men standing behind him. Both collapsed instantly. The entire factory fell silent. Even Master Wu's expression changed. In the distance, Jiaming and Yun Wu watched in horror. Yun Wu's heart sank. "It looks like no one is coming to save me." Black Phantom slowly pointed his knife forward. "Next. It's your turn." At that exact moment, a calm voice echoed through the factory. "Stop. I'm here." Everyone turned toward the entrance. Jiang Hao had arrived. Seeing him, Black Phantom laughed. "I predicted this perfectly. This idiot is actually willing to risk his life for a woman who doesn't even love him." Tears immediately filled Yun Wu's eyes. "Jiang Hao! Run! You're no match for him." But deep inside, she couldn't stop thinking. He really came. Hao Ji glared at Jiang Hao with hatred. "You butcher! You killed Brother Bao. Today, you'll leave your life here to pay for his death." Jiang Hao remained completely calm. "I don't want to kill you. I'll give you one chance. Leave now, and I'll spare your lives." Black Phantom burst into laughter. "I'm already looking for a place to die. But before that, I still have something I want to do." He suddenly tossed a stone toward Jiaming, instantly unsealing his acupoints. Then he gave a cruel order. "Your acupoints are unsealed now. If you want to survive, take off Jiang Hao's fiancée's clothes, strip her until there's nothing left." As he licked his lips with a disgusting grin, Jiaming actually obeyed. The same man who had once claimed to love Yun Wu was now willing to humiliate her just to save his own life. Seeing this, regret finally appeared in Yun Wu's eyes. Tears streamed down her face. "Brother Jiaming, are you really going to listen to this animal, and take off my clothes?" Jiaming lowered his head. "You won't understand. If I don't do what Second Master says, he'll kill me." Black Phantom ignored the 2 of them. His attention shifted back to Jiang Hao. As he charged forward to attack, he shouted over his shoulder. "Before I break Jiang Hao's legs, strip her completely." The moment he finished speaking, he lunged straight at Jiang Hao. However, Jiang Hao effortlessly dodged the attack. In the blink of an eye, he appeared behind Black Phantom. Boom! A devastating kick slammed into Black Phantom's back, sending him flying across the factory. Meanwhile, Jiaming was still reaching toward Yun Wu, refusing to stop. Jiang Hao's voice suddenly turned ice cold. "If you don't stop right now, I'll snap every one of your fingers." One by one. Hearing Jiang Hao's warning, Jiaming froze on the spot. His trembling hands immediately stopped moving. Yun Wu looked toward Jiang Hao in disbelief. "Jiang Hao is actually this strong?" Jiaming hurriedly nodded. "Why yes. I won't dare. I'll never dare do it again." Just then, Black Phantom slowly emerged from the cloud of dust. He wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and sneered. You should worry about yourself instead. Second Master was careless for a moment and fell for your little trick. But don't think you're leaving here alive, Master Wu quickly warned Jiang Hao. Brother Jiang, although his dagger is small, it can cut through iron like mud. Please be careful. The next second, Black Phantom lunged forward again, his razor-sharp dagger flashing toward Jiang Hao's throat. But Jiang Hao didn't move. He simply raised one finger. Clang! The dagger struck his fingertip. Then, it shattered into countless pieces. The smile on Black Phantom's face instantly disappeared. His eyes widened with pure terror. Before he could react. Boom! Jiang Hao's fist slammed directly into his face. The punch was so powerful that Black Phantom's jaw visibly twisted. His entire body shot backward like a cannonball before crashing into the factory wall with a deafening explosion. Dust filled the air. Jiaming and Yun Wu were completely stunned. Neither of them could believe what they had just witnessed. Black Phantom slowly slid down the broken wall. Blood poured from his mouth, and his once calm face had become horribly deformed. He stared at Jiang Hao in disbelief. At such a young age, you actually possess A-rank combat power? Jiang Hao slowly walked toward him. His crimson eyes radiated an overwhelming killing intent, making him look like death itself. You're wrong. I've already broken through A-rank and stepped into the transformation realm. Those words shattered Black Phantom's composure. His entire body began trembling. He could already see death standing before him. Without hesitation, he dropped to his knees. Senior Jiang, please, give me one more chance. I'll leave Pulling City immediately. I'll never come back again. Jiang Hao looked down at him expressionlessly. I already gave you a chance. But you're too late. Realizing there was no hope left, Black Phantom suddenly turned toward Yun Wu. If that's the case, I'll take someone down with me. He charged straight toward her. Yun Wu screamed in fear, tightly shutting her eyes. Jiang Hao! In the very next instant. Bang! Jiang Hao appeared in front of her like a phantom. He grabbed Black Phantom by the neck and smashed his head into the wall with terrifying force. The entire wall cracked apart. Even while being choked, Black Phantom struggled to speak. Who are you, exactly? Jiang Hao replied coldly. I'm the Feng family's live-in son-in-law. Didn't you already know that? Suddenly, something clicked inside Black Phantom's mind. His pupils shrank. Impossible. You're already dead. How could you still be alive? You're the wolf? Before he could finish speaking, Jiang Hao tightened his grip. Crunch! Blood burst from Black Phantom's mouth as the bones in his neck were crushed. A second later, his body went completely limp. Black Phantom was dead. Jiang Hao silently thought, I can't let him reveal my true identity. Silence filled the factory. After a moment, Jiang Hao spoke calmly. Hao Ji will be left for Master Wu to deal with. As for today's incident, I'll have to rely on Master Wu to keep it away from the police. At that moment, Hao Ji collapsed onto his knees. He repeatedly kowtowed while begging for mercy. Lord Jiang, please spare our lives. Master Jiang, please spare us. But it was already far too late. Master Wu stepped forward and looked respectfully at Jiang Hao. This is only natural. If it weren't for you today, Brother Jiang, none of us would have survived. In the future, if there's ever anything you need, even if I must climb a mountain of blades or jump into boiling oil, I, Hu Jiang, will never refuse. His two subordinates immediately clasped their fists. Thank you, Brother Jiang, for saving our lives. From today onward, our lives belong to you. Jiang Hao waved his hand. Get up. We'll consider this matter settled. Then, his gaze slowly shifted toward Jiaming. It's your turn. Jiaming instantly fell to his knees. His entire body shook uncontrollably. Grandpa Jiang, I've never had any grudge against you. You can't kill me. Jiang Hao smiled coldly. No grudge? Then why did you send people to kill me last time? Those men have already turned into white bones. You'll be joining them in the underworld very soon. Jiaming's face turned completely pale. What? Brother Kuei and his men. They were all killed by you. Jianhao asked indifferently. Do you have any last words? Desperate, Jiaming crawled toward Yunwu. He hugged her waist tightly and cried. Yunwu! You know I love you! Hurry! Please save me! Yunwu looked at Jianhao with tear-filled eyes. If you want to kill Brother Jiaming, you'll have to kill me first. Jianhao frowned. This kind of man says he loves you, and you actually believe him? Lowering her head, Yunwu whispered. I believe him. Everything he did. He only did it to survive. Jianhao couldn't help but laugh. I won't kill you. He turned and walked toward the exit. Without looking back, he gave one final warning. But if even half a word about today's events reaches the outside world, I'll personally wipe out every single member of your family. After leaving behind that terrifying threat, Jianhao walked away. Jiaming repeatedly slammed his forehead against the ground. Thank you for sparing my life, Brother Jiang. The next morning, the abandoned factory was surrounded by police vehicles. Dozens of officers took the surviving criminals into custody. Nearby, several investigators stood around Black Phantom's corpse. One of them, Feng Yuhuang of the Dragon Phoenix Task Force, spoke after examining the scene. According to our investigation, everyone killed inside this factory died instantly at the hands of this individual. Another officer looked shocked. Just how powerful is this person? What level has his combat power reached? An elderly investigator took a deep breath before answering. I'm afraid his strength has already surpassed the middle stage of blood and chi tempering. According to international classification, he's already an A-rank combat expert.